tervetuloa sitten, se on vuosi 2011 ja Helsingin Suvilahti Tuska-festivaali. Mä tulin tänne Sonjan kanssa juontamaan. Sonja ei ole ikinä käynyt Tuskassa.
Ei, olen ensimmäistä kertaa Tuskassa. Tähän asti hyvältä vaikuttaa, kieltämättä vähän jännittää, mutta en mä tiedä, mitä sä luulet, tuleeko mulla joku heviusko nyt? Ehkä mä hylkään mun hipsteriyden ja indien paskat ja nautin Suvilahdesta nyt Tuskassa, enkä Flowssa. En ole menossa Flowhun tänä vuonna, vaan olen Tuskassa ja nautin siitä.
Meillä on ihan loistavia haastatteluita tulossa. Meillä on muun muassa MORBID Angel, Arch Enemy ja Devin Townsend Project.
Jopa minä tiedän, että se on kova. Se on kova. Mulla lähtee ääni jo tässä vaiheessa. Mä oon huutanut ihan liikaa täällä.
Sä oot niin paljon huutanut.
Niin,
mutta ei siinä ketään. Lähdetään katsoa, mitä tekee 2011 uudessa paikassa Suvilahdessa ensimmäistä kertaa.
Elikkä Tuska 2011 backerilta löytyy MORBID Angelin laulaja David Vincent. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Just fine. And how are you doing this hot afternoon?
Yeah, exactly. Hot afternoon. You wouldn't expect that Helsinki would be this warm, but it's going to be a great day, and we're going to have a great show, and we're looking forward to it.
Last time you guys were here, it was in 2008, if I remember correctly, and it was also a Tuska festival. Now, what kind of memories do you have of the last time in Finland?
You know, I wish I had more memories. I was only in the country of Finland for a total of 18 hours. And much of that was spent sleeping because we had, these summer festivals, sometimes it's like every day but in a different country. So you have to wake up early and get on the plane and fly and play and then hurry up and leave because the next morning you have to fly and play again. And it's a little different than when we're doing our own tours, and we have a bus and you're able to sleep a lot more. So sleep is not the enemy.
Okay, now considering that there's quite a lot of heat here tonight in Helsinki, and I remember last time you were here, you performed in this PVC kind of shirt with the red pentagram on it. Now, do you still have it, and how hot is that?
Well, it's pretty warm. It doesn't breathe. I change my costumes from time to time, but it's pretty hot. I sweat a lot. Yeah.
How important is the image for you?
Well, it's not. The image is it's the inside. My outside is just an expression of my inside. So I don't know how important is that. I don't know. It's as important as anyone wants to make it.
Now, let's talk briefly about the new album, of course. Now, as you have obviously noticed, people have had very diverse opinions about it. Were you aware when you were doing this album that it was going to be such a watershed among the fans?
Well, there's definitely some extreme. It's a very extreme record, and it's getting a lot of extreme responses. So it's a good thing.
Did the track Too Extreme? Did it live up to its name?
Well. Indeed, it seems to be too extreme for a lot of people, which is, again, I think it's a good thing.
You gotta shake up the things every once in a while.
Well, I like to push the boundaries of music. I think extreme music has no boundaries. We'll decide what is too extreme and what's not.
Now, of course, since there are industrial kind of tracks on the album, now, is there any possibility of hearing those live?
We're still working to put more new stuff in the set. Some of the stuff, it does take a bit more work, but we like it.
Tim Young is playing drums for you tonight, and pretty much for the whole year, I'm guessing. Now, how has he fitted into the MORBID Angel unit?
Well, he's a very talented player, and it really starts there. The guy is a really good drummer. He did an excellent job on the record, and I'm really excited. He's a good guy.
Now, of course, I gotta ask you, Pete Sandoval, do you have any information, or do you know when he's coming back to the MORBID Angel family?
Well, I wish I had an answer for that. His doctor will decide, I think, when he's able to do that.
So it could be like next year, or do you think that it's going to be...
All of the touring for this record is going to be Tim. And then we'll reassess, you know, what the next step is, you know. I'm really focused on a couple of things right now. I mean, Pete's a good friend, and we all wish him well. I mean, we want him to recover, but this is, you know, some of these things take a long time.
I think that's pretty much everything we have to ask for you now. So thank you very much and have a good show tonight in Tuska.
Thank you, buddy.
I am the enemy. I am the antidote. Watch me closely. I will stand up now. We will rise above. We will rise.
All right, I'm sitting here with Chris from Arch Enemy. How are you, man?
I'm doing very good. The weather's nice and we just played a good show.
Yeah, you played on the main stage and it was almost like 35 degrees or something. How does that affect your playing?
So hot. The guitar stayed in tune. But no, it was good. It sounded good on stage and the crowd were getting into it, and it's a good show. Success. It's good because you're warmed up. You don't have to warm up that much before you play. You're kind of already loose, you know.
Your brother is actually playing another gig after this. How do you think he'll manage?
I don't know. It's in a tent, so I guess me and Michael, we got kind of fair skin, kind of. We're half British, so we got the English complexion, so we're sensitive to the sun.
Let's talk a bit about your new album, The Chaos Legions. It took a while. Your last album came out 2007 and now it's 2011. What happened?
Well, we just did a whole bunch of touring, working on the road, you know, and we had decided to do this album of re-recording our old songs, Root of All Evil, with Angela. That was something that we just wanted to do and what the fans requested. So we just went ahead and did that. So that explains the long break between original studio albums.
It actually, I heard it took a while, like 4 months to do the new album. It was your longest recording. How come?
We got a bit delayed. We were recording in one place and the producer kind of got burned out and couldn't finish the mix. So we had to give it to another guy, Andy Sneap in England, to finish the mix. So it was kind of prolonged process. And it was over Christmas and then New Year too, so we took a little break there in the middle.
This is your last album for Century Media. What's coming next?
We're going to record some shows during the tours next year, and we're going to release a little live DVD at the end of next year. Maybe just do a separate deal for that. But the long-term new record deal, I don't know what's going to happen.
Is there still a possibility to continue with Century Media?
Yeah, there's a possibility. We'll see what the best offer is.
How is the songwriting process? Are you constantly writing, or is it like after a tour you're all going to the same place and write songs, or are you constantly writing?
We record little bits and pieces here and there on the road, sure. Like somebody will be warming up, you know, and like I'll be warming up and Michael says, hey, that's a cool riff, what's that, you know, like something. We just record it on an iPhone or whatever, and then. But it's good to have a deadline, you know. So when we do want to make an album, we set a deadline, and then we just write every day. And every day we record the rehearsals, then we listen to them in the evening, and then the next day we have ideas for arrangements and stuff. So it's cool. We all know what the Arch Enemy sound should be like, so it's pretty intuitive. We don't have to have a whole lot of arguments about is this good or bad, is this Arch Enemy.
Since you all are writing like all the time, is there any possibility that you're gonna release like a B-side album or something, rarities or something like that?
Well, we are actually gonna release an EP or something, because there was a few tracks that didn't make it to the album because, you know, it got too long. So we have a few covers and one original that's going to be released, so that's going to be cool.
You're also self-managed, you don't have any managers. What are the pros and cons with that?
It's just pros. I mean, we had a manager for a while and we got the contacts, and now we don't need that kind of a manager. Angela is our manager, so it works out great. We don't feel like we're being controlled by anyone, you know. So I mean, we had this big management for a while, Sanctuary Management, Iron Maiden, and they helped us in a way to get big shows. We got to open up for Iron Maiden, for example, a few times. But also there was a lot of stuff going on behind. Like we didn't really know what was going on with the finances. It was strange. Like we'd play in front of 300 people in Germany and then 3,000 people in Japan, and we'd still get the same kind of money. You know, not very much. So it's kind of it's classic musician scenario, like kind of being misled.
It must be kind of freeing to be able to do all the major decisions yourself.
Yeah, we work with a few agents in Europe, one agent in Europe and one in the US, and they help us out. But otherwise, Angela does mostly the bookings. But if something gets too much hard work, she hands it over to an agent.
Where do you see Arch Enemy in like 10 years?
I don't know if we'll be going for 10 years.
Well, let's say 5.
5? I don't know, we're just going to keep doing it as long as we enjoy it, you know? I mean, we got next year booked up, and we're just going to take it, you know, album by album. So, but I think somewhere down the line we're going to take a break, a longer break, maybe 6 months, a year, you know, because we've been working non-stop touring for the last 5 years, so.
All right, I'm thanking you, Chris, and I have to say I really loved your new album, Chaos Legions, so thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Mitä me nyt tehdään?
Mennään vähän kyselee. Mä haluan tietää ihmisiltä, että onko ne mieluummin täällä vai olisiko ne Kaisaniemessä?
Hyvä, tehdään se. Kaisaniemi vai Suvilahti?
Kaisaniemi.
Miksi?
Paremmille mestoilla. Kaisaniemi.
Miksi?
Siellä oli enemmän fiilistä. Tää on tämmönen kiviaukio.
Ehdottomasti Suvilahti. No sen takia, että täällä on niinku jengi hajautuu tänään. Kaisaniemessä jengi on pakkautunut sinne Nurtsille. Täällä jengi mikslaa.
Onko ikävä Kaisaniemeen?
Ei todellakaan ikävä. Homma toimii täällä ja niinku kaikki on...
Myönnetään!
Kaikki on hyvin paitsi se, että lämmintä kaljaa myö täällä, mikä on niinku anteeksi antamatonta.
Kaisaniemi. Siellä on enemmän metsää.
Kaisaniemi ehdottomasti. Sen takia, koska se on keskustassa.
Suvilahti ehdottomasti. Tää on ihan helvetin makeampi, paljon makeampi mesta.
Kyllä se Kaisaniemi ehkä on vähän parempi. Tää on vaan tämmönen liian teollinen alue. Kyllä se Kaisaniemi on parempi.
Kaisaniemessä on ollut parempi. Siellä olisi ollut puita ja varjoa vähän enemmän.
Ootko samaa mieltä?
Kyllä, olemme keskustelleet tästä monien ihmisten kanssa ja kaikki oli kyllä samaa mieltä.
Musta kas vaan tuntuu, että se on yleinen ilmapiiri täällä.
Kaisaniemi!
Tuska 2011, pöydästä löytyy Mårten Hagström from MESHUGGAH. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You guys played in the sunlight on Sunday, so I saw the show and Jens was complaining that, you know, it's way too early. So how did it feel for you?
We've been doing this for quite some time, so we've been up on those stages. I mean, we played basically this type of thing every day on the Ozfest in 2002 for 10 weeks in the States. And it was way hotter and way worse in every respect. So this was just fine, man. You know, like preferably, you know, if you can choose, you know, you'd want to go on at like 11 or 10 or something. But on the other hand, you know, it was a good show. We had fun. The crowd was good. So,
since from the audience perspective, your music is not easy to headbang to. Is it fun to watch from off the stage? People trying to, you know, find the one.
It's not that difficult, but still some people are thrown off by it. But I'm amazed at the, you know, how many actually, you know, like all the way through. But some crowds sometimes, like if you're doing a festival where you normally don't do a festival and you haven't, you know, like maybe the first time in an area and people, you know, you're not that big, then you can see like, okay, some parts it's like, all right, and then it's like, so yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes, but today was good.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since Obzen. So what's going on in the MESHUGGAH camp at the moment? Are you guys? I heard that you have done one track for the new album at the moment, but what's the status of the new album?
Well, we're doing. It's not a major difference, but we're doing things a little bit differently as far as the recording and writing approach. Instead of sitting around making those demos and eventually have like pretty much 12 songs that are more or less finished, and everybody starts to like adjust to each other's material and arrange and whatever, and then learn them and then play them.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, this track actually feels like everybody's happy with it.
Yeah.
This is the way we're gonna do it, and it's probably gonna be on the album, so let's record it. So we did that with one song, and we're doing it with another right now, and I'm finishing up the last touches on a third song, and we got material for a lot.
Yeah.
But to boil it down to an actual album is going to take some time. But it's so that's what we're doing right now: writing, recording, and playing live. But coming out of this festival period, like on the 12th of August or something, we're not going to play for a little while. So then we're going to actually really focus. Like the whole of September and half of August is probably going to be just studio work.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, but it looks. You know, it's not going to come out this year.
Yeah.
But it looks like springtime next year or something like that. Yeah. Even though we don't have, like, you know, defined a lot of tracks yet, the overall feeling of the vibe, if you want, the atmosphere of what's coming out, I'm pretty fond of, because it's we were really excited about where it's about to go.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Vincent?
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear of it from the internet. I actually heard it in an interview, because I think it was Metal Hammer or something from the UK called me up and asked me about how we felt about the gent movement and what it was about and whatever. And since I have never heard of it, I was like, yeah, well, I don't know. And he told me what it was. So now I know. And I've been asked that question a bunch. So, you know,
sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I understand where it's coming from. But to us, I keep saying it, it's a tremendous honor, I guess, to be inspiring people, you know, like, because, you know, every time you're inspired by something, that means an awful lot to you. Yeah. When something catches your imagination that way, it's tremendously important to grow, like, as far as, you know, being a creative person or what the fuck ever, you know, whatever you want to call it. So if you can do that to other people, hey, fucking great, you know. Yeah. But I don't understand what defines the gent movement still, because I've only heard Tesseract.
And now, actually, speaking of influences, what are the things that get you excited these days?
Mainly stuff that I already listen to, you know. But something I've been listening a lot to now is like this electronic artist, female, like pop electronica singer, Imogen Heap.
Oh yeah, I know.
And she's just, she's amazing. Because it's, you know, it's the type of music I would really not like. I don't define genres. I just listen to whatever is cool. I don't give a crap. I don't care what people think. You know, if I hear a hip hop act and I think, oh, this is fucking groovy, then I like it. Yeah. That's the end of the story. I don't care about anything else. Yeah. But when I heard her, it was just like, she's not only musical, she's got everything. She's like, it's when overly produced electronic music that shouldn't really do it for me really does the trick.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for this, and have a great touring throughout the summer.
Thanks, man. Kiitos.
Kiitos.